snatches a cockroach, puts it in your jacket pocket.
I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
Ooh.
Oh no.
20! Yeah! I am not a nugget.
Hello, travelers. I am your master of games, Zach Delaune. Come along as I embark on a D&D adventure with one very brave hero. Welcome to SideQuest.
The sun sets in summertime. The river town of Nuvola is coming to a close at the end of this long working day. You find yourself behind the back alley of a very fancy establishment next to a pile of garbage. I'm joined today by the wonderful Alex Gamble. Would you please describe your character?
Sure. My character is a very striking half-elf. They have very long, honey-colored hair, almost as if they haven't cut it in a very long time, maybe never, and arresting green eyes.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
You're standing in this alleyway. The smell is pretty horrendous. You see rats and cockroaches kind of scurrying about the ground, and in front of you is a 7-foot-tall Goliath man. He is got an apron on, a white apron, and blonde, kind of medium-length hair. And you know him to be Gordron Lamses, owner and chef at the Nine Hells Diner. He he stands across from you and has hired you for a job, a very specific job. He addresses you. He says,
It's about time you got here. Where have you been?
My character will reach their hand out and say, very nice to, meet you.
Right. He reaches his hand out, a soft shake, and says,
No mind. It is nice to meet you too. I'm just glad you're here. I need some help.
I'm here to help. What's up?
This is hard for me to admit, but business has been bad at my restaurant, the Nine Hells Diner.
I'm so sorry.
And it's because of one place. One new place that's opened up. The Astral Goat. It's a new, fancy, pretentious place of eating. Takes itself way too seriously. And the owner there, he's trying to put me out of business. I've been in this town longer than anyone else.
Is it bad that we're outside of this restaurant right now? Are they gonna see us?
I checked the coast. It was clear. We're fine, as long as we don't see anybody right now.
Is the coast clear?
why don't you roll a perception check?
Okay. So is it 12?
Doesn't seem to be anybody. There's some rats on the ground. There's some cockroaches everywhere. He says,
I think we're fine. Nobody's showed up yet, and I think there's not a large amount of people that are allowed in the establishment anyways. It's only going to be a few people inside. The Astral Goat is owned by the pretentious Romulus Darrington. He's a real pesky sucker. And I want to make his name trash in this town. I want it to be so bad, they close the restaurant for good, and all the business comes back to me. See, I've sent a note to Lord Mayor Nimbus, here of the town Nuvola. He's expecting a visitor tonight to join him for dinner. A visitor from the town of Lists. That's you, even though you're not from Lists, right?
No, I haven't heard of it. Should I know anything about it?
I'm sure you'll make it up just fine.
Cool.
The name I gave Lord Mayor Nimbus was Harley Digby. Remind me again, what is your name?
Tallisandra.
Tallisandra.
Tallisandra Whisperwind, actually.
Tallisandra, forget that name. You're now Harley Digby from lists.
Cool.
Good. You're gonna do great, I can already tell.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet Lord Mayor Nimbus right outside of the Astral Goat. You'll go, you'll have dinner. I'm gonna ask you to sabotage that restaurant any means necessary, but I want you to stay undercover. If you can get Lord Mayor Nimbus to have a bad time in this restaurant, I think we might get this place closed for good.
Okay. Cool.
Now, I'll be back here, just to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Right. Okay.
And you can meet me back out here after your dinner's done.
By the trash.
Succeeded.
Of course.
Yes, here by the garbage.
Perfect place.
In that moment, he sees his ears kind of perk up, and he says,
He's on his way. I can hear Lord Mayor Nimbus's carriage riding up right now.
Nice ears.
he goes and, like, fixes your collar and kind of, like, buttons a button, kind of moves your hair out of your face a little bit, and he says,
You're gonna do great, I swear.
he looks down at the ground, snatches a cockroach, puts it in your jacket pocket. He says,
I don't know, use it or something. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
pushes you around the corner and towards the front of the Astral Goat. The outside of the Astral Goat is just the most gaudy looking restaurant building with sconces and fancy windows and low lighting and a little spot outside for people to mingle and hang out. And you see a carriage kind of pulling up with a couple of horses pulling it, and Lord Mayor Nimbus steps down from the carriage.
So Tallisandra kind of like snaps into standing up a little bit straighter, a little less just sort of free in terms of like leaning on the hips. You could tell the demeanor about them is changed. And with their head up and their eyes kind of up, they kind of look over towards the carriage to wait for Mayor Nimbus to step down.
Mayor Nimbus steps down.
Mayor Nimbus!
Well, you must be Harley Digby.
Oh no. Tallisandra's going to place a hand out and say, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
Oh, the pleasure is all mine.
Oh!
I have reserved us a table at the newest and finest establishment in all of New Vola. I personally have not eaten here yet, and I'm very excited to try it.
Wonderful. We'll try it out together.
You head towards the front door, and you see the two guards at the front door recognize Mayor Nimbus immediately and move out of the way. Everybody in line kind of is seeing the mayor and is like, "Oh my god, that's Lord Mayor Nimbus. Oh my god."
Is it like positive, like celebrity status?
Like he's
Okay.
cool. Lord
Okay.
Mayor Nimbus shows up in very, very deep blue like coat with a light blue undershirt. His hair is pillowy and white, almost big and kind of folds over his ears.
Okay.
He's got a white mustache that kind of curls up, a single monocle on his eye, and is well liked among the population.
Tallisandra follows him and is just nodding and smiling the entire time.
And you enter into the Astral Goat.
Other goats.
There are no goats inside, which is like
It's really sad.
what the heck.
Yeah.
Instead, it is
very low light, like almost too dark.
You see there is a person waiting to receive the both of you standing there, and they say, yes, hello. Are you here for dinner, Lord Mayor Nimbus? He says,
Oh, why, yes, would you please? I have a table reserved.
and they say,
Right this way, Lord Mayor.
and take you to a table kind of in the center of the Astral Goat.
Okay.
Inside, as you're kind of walking towards the table, you see that there's a few tables here and there. You see there's one table with two human males kind of eating dinner together. They're eating what looks like some kind of fried fish-looking thing, and then another table with just a singular person who has a quill and a piece of paper and look to be taking some notes. The walls are kind of adorned with very beautiful wallpaper and flowers. You see that there are not any goats, but you see that there are a lot of goat heads, kind of busts on the wall, with different facial expressions. Some of them kind of smiling and some of them kind of frowning.
Sounds beautiful.
The smells in here are kind of the first thing to catch your senses. It's salty, but there's hints of arugula, probably, right? It's the kind of place that serves arugula. The hostess sits you down at the table and addresses the both of you and says, "Now, may I offer you a drink, perhaps one of our specialties? There is the spider bite. You could have some Zamoria Dream wine, or our famous Dragon's Breath cocktail."
Ooh. Tallisandra is basically going to let Mayor kind of dictate and see what he does in terms of ordering, or if he's looking at me waiting for my response.
You see he's kind of like taking this all in the same you are. He looks to the hostess and he says,
Well, I don't know about you, Harley, but I think I'd like to try the spider bite.
Adventurous!
And yourself?
I'll do the same!
2 spider bites.
I hope there's not too much bite in them.
I'm nervous to try it, if I'm honest.
True.
So, Harley, let's get down to brass tacks. Who are you?
Who am I? Who am I not?
Oh, a wonderful question.
I come from a small town and started in a family and built my way up, and I fell in love with List, and it fell in love with me.
Oh, I've never been to List before. It is a place I've always dreamt of going to.
Oh, it's lovely this time of year.
"Please roll deception for me."
Sure. You know what? It's a 10.
He doesn't know. He's never been. Maybe it is lovely this time of year. It's summertime, so it could very well be very lovely. But you're giving him vague answers, and so he's going to pry a little deeper.
Okay.
So he says,
Yes, what is it like this time of year? I wonder, being so far up north.
The flowers. Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Oh, I dream of the flowers of Lists. Famous for flowers, are you?
Absolutely. All times of year.
What kind of flowers?
Winter flowers. We have spring flowers. Lilacs. Dandelions.
beautiful. In that moment, the hostess comes back with 2 spider bite cocktails. They are kind of small glasses with kind of teal green glow to them. There's one ice cube inside the glass in the shape of a snake's head with 2 long fangs.
Is this an ice cube?
It's an ice cube. It's not an actual snake's head.
Okay.
But the drink itself kind of glows a little.
Okay.
He picks up his glass, goes to...
Tallisandra also picks up their glass, clinks it, and as they drink, gonna cast Minor Illusion, and kind of give it, ooh, ow, and have a fake trickle of blood come down on their lips.
Interesting. Do you take a sip?
Yes.
Okay. Please roll a...
Should've said no.
I think it's a Constitution saving throw.
I don't think that I'm rolling very well today.
Lord Mayor Nimbus and you both take a drink. In doing so, take 4 points of poison damage.
Oh my god.
And you see him kind of like, it kind of burns his throat a little, and he goes, oh,
Whoa, wow, that's really strong.
It might be. Like,
Oh, you're bleeding. Are you okay?
he grabs his towel that's just on the table, and he gives it to you.
Tallisandra takes it and, like, dabs at it, but it, like, doesn't go away. It's just, like, kind of, like, looks like it's still bleeding. Oh, it's deep. What was that?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I didn't bleed myself. I didn't get hurt.
I think it was that ice cube. I was joking about being bit, but this is a little out there for me.
Very avant-garde.
Could be exciting.
I was
but-
very excited to try this place.
Right.
At the risk of death. Maybe it makes it more exciting.
Perhaps.
You kind of remove the napkin, and the hostess responds,
My goodness, there was not supposed to be a problem with the drink. It should not have cut you like this. What had happened? Did you take a drink weird?
Are you implying that I would drink weird?
Of
Oh,
course.
I'm sorry.
I don't mean to offend. It is the first time something like this has happened.
With this ice cube, it seems a bit sharp.
she takes a look at it. She says, I'll get you a new one.
Thank you.
And takes the glass away and leaves.
I'm so sorry. That was interesting.
In that moment, you see a gnomish figure step out from behind the kitchen that you've just kind of clocked. You can see just behind Lord Mayor Nimbus's back, there's a door that leads to a bustling kitchen. The gnomish figure steps out dressed in a full suit and tie, the most elegant outfit you've ever seen. Black hair slicked back perfectly, and a pair of spectacles that just rest right on the very edge of his nose as he comes scurrying out to the edge of your table, and you see the hostess follows right behind with a step stool. And, sets it next to the table, and the figure steps up the step stool and addresses the two of you and says,
Why, hello. My name is Romulus Darrington. I am the owner of this restaurant, and I am very happy to have the both of you here. My hostess has informed me that you had a bit of trouble with your drink, and I would like to extend my sincerest apologies.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for coming up to speak with us. Charmed, really. And Digby holds out their hand for a shake.
He moves his hand and he says, Now, who do I have the pleasure?
Harley Digby of List.
Of Lists. I know Lists well. Who are you? How have I not heard your name before?
I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
Ooh. What do I have
This
to
might
roll?
be too dangerous, but why not?
Why not? Gonna roll a wisdom save.
Okay.
you see he feels the spell. He feels the essence of magic that you've tried to pass on to him in trying to cast this spell. And he kind of pulls his hand back and he says, Now, normally this is unacceptable, but your company here tonight is very important. Lord Nimbus, it is a pleasure to have you here. Listen, Harley, Digby,
Right.
you need not use magic to become my friend.
I like to charm everyone that I come across.
I see. Well, I hope our food this evening charms you without magic.
I hope the rest of it doesn't bite me.
You see, roll intimidation for me.
Okay. I don't think this dice is having it with me today, personally. I mean, that's a 16, so...
You see, he says, touche. And he sets down another drink. This time it is a spider bite, but the glass inside is a snake's head with the fangs broken off.
Okay, cool. Lovely, thank you so much.
For your troubles, Lord Nimbus, Harley, I will send over your first course, a starter for the evening, on the house. Some crackamari.
Kakamari.
It is our famous fried kraken served over a bed of leafy greens.
Wonderful, I'm looking forward to it.
He steps away down his step stool and heads back into the kitchen. The hostess takes the step stool and is gone before you can even watch her leave.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yes, a very strange interaction. Did you charm him?
I sometimes just have a way about me that I can't handle.
I suppose you do.
The hostess comes back rather quickly and drops off a plate of it is massive rings, fried rings of kraken meat.
Wow.
And you see that they're kind of cut into pieces, and it's served with a bed of greens, and in the middle there's a sauce that you can dip into.
Okay.
It smells pretty horrible. This is a take on it. It's a kind of meat that isn't normally used in cooking, and is kind of very hard to source. And the ethics of killing a kraken, anyways, unless it's actively trying to kill you, are kind of questionable. They're massive creatures that are thinking and feeling, probably.
Tallisandra is gonna look at the plate and kind of be the loud, bombastic kind of reaction. Wow, this is quite the plate.
The Kraken is captured. At the beginning of the month, we send out a crew to go find us the largest and deadliest Kraken of the seas.
Good.
And we slaughter it and drag it back, cure it over fire, and then fry it.
Slaughter is quite an interesting word to use in this case. Do they fight back? I do know that Kraken are...
The Kraken does not give itself freely, therefore it struggles greatly. The struggle is what gives it that twang. You'll find it quite delicious, I'm sure.
I don't know. Thank you so much.
She bows and scurries away.
Is this what they base the meals off of? Is catching things that against their will and struggling?
I don't like the idea of struggling, but I do like the idea of trying new things.
I agree.
I am quite open, and I'll be honest, I've never had Kraken before.
I don't think I ever thought I would have Kraken.
It is a new day for us both.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Tallisandra would try and bite into it, Looking at around the room, like, what's the vibe? Is there anything else going on, like, that
don't you-
would catch their eye?
Roll a perception check.
Okay. 23?
23. So upon entering, you noticed the two tables that were kind of nearby your table, far enough away that you can't really hear what they're talking about. There's the one table with the two human men kind of enjoying a meal
There were
together.
the fried fish, yeah.
They seem to be kind of laughing, having a good time out to dinner. The other table, there seems to be still just the one person, and there is now a few empty plates on the table, and they seem to be kind of taking notes, fervorously taking notes, and kind of head down, very seriously focusing on what looks to be work.
Do they still have a plate in front of them?
Most of the plates that are in front of them still have a bit of food on them too, so it looks like they maybe tasted a few things.
Okay.
You can kind of put together that perhaps they are reviewing the restaurant.
I'm going to sleight of hand the cockroach in my pocket into the mayor's dish.
Okay.
Let me play this out, actually. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cast minor illusion on the reviewer's plate. I want it to look like a cockroach is scurrying across multiple of their plates until it runs underneath their table and disappears.
What does it look like when you cast it? Are you kind of like
Under the table,
kinda...
just like waving a hand in the direction, but underneath like the whatever tablecloth that there is.
Yeah.
And kind of like behind whatever is the most further away plate, so it's not like obvious that it popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it could have come out of the food itself. It just scurries around the table.
The cockroach is scurrying all over the table. The elusive cockroach, illusion cockroach.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking notes. You see them kind of nose down in their notes, and it takes a second before you notice an eyeball kind of go up, catch it, do a double take, immediately kind of scoot their chair back, and puts their notes down and go, hello.
It's gonna scurry immediately under the, like, to the side and like under the table, basically. So it looks like it could be like going towards their legs or somewhere under the table.
Yeah. Immediately jumps up onto the chair, standing now on their chair, and says, a cockroach, I saw a cockroach!
What does Mayor Nimbus do?
Mouth full of crackamari, goes,
Is he looking over?
He catches a glimpse of what's going on, and he hears cockroach, and he
During
kinda,
that moment?
Yeah.
When
Okay.
he's looking over,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to place the cockroach in the plate.
Oh, okay. So let's
Does
have
that
you
offer any, like...
let's have you roll sleight of hand with advantage,
Okay.
because he's not looking at you.
Okay. That's a 6 and a 10. So... it's a 14.
14, I think this works. The focus and attention is right now definitely on this person, this reviewer who has just seen this cockroach. Mm-hmm. Lord Mayor Nimbus pulls the food from his mouth and kind of puts it down to the side. And you see the hostess kind of run from the kitchen, now no longer kind of gliding like they did before, but you definitely see the legs
the
kind of
legs
like
coming
high
up.
knees, like, oh geez, oh man, here we come.
Yeah.
And goes to the table with the cockroach. Tries to calm down the patron. Does so unsuccessfully.
Okay.
The reviewer snatches their notes and bolts out the door.
Oh, wow.
The hostess is immediately kind of going over the table, like, what happened? Where was this cockroach? Is looking under pieces of food, under the plates, and trying to calm the rest of the patrons in the establishment, saying, There doesn't seem to be any cockroach. I don't see anything.
A cockroach?
No.
Talisandra's gonna go, oh, that's disgusting!
It's fine. There is no cockroach. This would never be.
Talisandra, like, kind of, like, looks at the dish. Do they see the cockroach, like, going around, or...
It is kind of hanging out antennas kind of moving all over the place, munching on some crackamari itself on your table.
Okay. Tallisandra is going to just be smash a hand down on a table, and they're going to go, "This is preposterous. Cockroaches?"
Lord Mayor Nimbus, now mouth kind of clean of food, turns to you and says, "I can't believe that. I hope they kill it." And then he looks down at the crackamari on your table, spots the real alive cockroach.
Another cockroach!
Who? Where? Where?
It's on the table!
There's a cockroach here?
It's on the table, it's right there!
That's disgusting!
Somebody please come get it!
And the hostess, fully overwhelmed, is rushing now to your table to try and find the problem. Spots it immediately, and you watch her go, whack! Smack it, grab it, pocket it. From the kitchen, Romulus Darrington is sprinting. The commotion in the room is unlike anything that's ever happened before. This place opened not but a few weeks ago, so this is very important that their reputation remains good. He comes up to the hostess and he says, "What is going on?" And the hostess says, kind of whispers to him and takes him aside, and you hear a bit of a... He kind of addresses the room and he says, "Hello, fine patrons. I understand there has been a bug among the food."
2 bugs!
2 bugs, yes. Thank you. I promise you this is not normal, nor is it acceptable. So, for the rest of the night, all of your food and drinks shall be for free. I beg you, I implore you to stay, and let us prove that this is not a normal occurrence. The Lord Mayor turns to you and he says, "I didn't see that cockroach before. I don't know where it could have come from, but it is quite gross. I'd understand if you'd rather not stay, but I was pretty curious to try their special entree, the Astral Goat confit."
It is pretty gross that there would be a bug of any kind here that they would allow that, but I'll give it another go with this course.
The hostess comes to your table, takes the crackamari away, has the bug pocketed in their pocket.
The dead thing that they
The
smashed?
dead, squished bug is now gone from the table. Romulus Darrington steps up to your table, and he reassures you and says,
I promise this has never happened before. I do apologize, and I hope you will stay and at least have an entree and perhaps a dessert on the house.
Fabulous. I'm very interested, however. I do hope that it is bugless this time.
Of course it will be bugless. There
should never be bugs in this restaurant, and it is very surprising that there was to begin with.
I'm also surprised.
Roll deception for me.
Okay. What is happening? 11?
And 11, you see, he's been suspicious of you since you tried to charm person.
Yeah, that makes
kind of like
sense.
another, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
We have many great things on the menu this evening. You may try our grilled griffin drumsticks, or perhaps an aboleth tripe served lukewarm with sliced onion. We are also serving ooze served 4 ways.
Interesting.
People love the displacer steaks.
I'm personally interested in the goat confit. I've heard it's very good, right, Mayor?
Oh, yes. I would love to try the Astral Goat confit. I have heard many, many good things about that.
Romulus says,
But of course, almost everyone orders the Astral Goat confit. It is made with our very special sauce.
Oh, special.
I think you will find it most delicious.
Can't wait.
For you as well,
Absolutely.
it will be done. And he scurries away.
Tallisandra kind of looks up at the mayor and is like, very excited about this plate.
Well, I'm quite excited too. I will say the cockroaches really put a damper on the evening. I like to treat my guests very well and take them to good places, but this was unvetted by me, and I do apologize. A cockroach surprise is most unwelcome.
I would like that off the menu, personally. And their cocktails seem biting. No pun intended.
I haven't taken another sip because it did hurt quite a lot.
It did.
And
I
I'm
must
feeling-
admit, actually, it was quite painful.
I'm feeling a little ooey. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, I'm feeling the same. Let's run around or something crazy like that. Anyways,
Goodness! Oh,
sorry, I get a little silly sometimes,
okay.
especially in alcohol.
I'd love to get silly too. Maybe, perhaps after.
Best friends?
Are we already best friends?
Are we best friends?
Hello! Don't mind me, just doing a quick ad read for our sponsors. A liches get stitches. Is your undead significant other obsessed with power and not present in your relationship? Call now to speak with a cleric. Now back to the show.
The Astral Goat confit is laid in front of you, 2 plates. The plate is massive. It almost hangs off the side of the table. And in the very center, there is the smallest, 2-inch by 2-inch cut of goat that you can't tell what part of the body it comes from.
Okay.
That is placed just on top of a tiny little wooden table in the center of the plate. And as the hostess brings them out, she takes a jug and begins to pour a very special sauce over, and you watch as it kind of glazes over the top of the duck. It glazes over the top of the goat, and then drips off to the sides, making a pool in a circle. The dish itself is beautiful, but also nothing, no food at all.
there.
It is got a little piece of garnish on the very top that is covered in this special sauce. The sauce itself is kind of glittery and brown and kind of has hints of purple kind of running through it.
Okay.
It's very interesting, and you see Lord Mayor Nimbus is wow.
Wow.
And he begins to look around for a fork, but there is no silverware on the table. And he's a bit confused, and he says, well, I suppose we eat it with our hands?
That seems a bit barbaric, if you ask me.
The great Romulus Darrington comes strolling out and begins to hand you both a single stick. Looks like it was plucked right from a tree, and it still has bark on it. It's maybe 6 inches long, and he gives you one, and he gives Lord Mayor Nimbus one, and Lord Mayor Nimbus kind of looks at it. He says, yes, we use this to eat. And Romulus says, as per tradition, the Astral Goat is consumed by the tree that lived in its chamber, in its confinement.
Beautiful.
It is the circle of life.
Tradition.
Enjoy. And he gives a bow and steps away.
Tallisandra nods and is like, I don't know about you, but does this seem small? Like a small to you, a dish?
Well, I'll definitely want dessert, if that's what you mean.
Of course. Actually, if you don't mind, I do need to run to the bathroom for a second, but I shall be right back.
Of course, take your time. The bathrooms, you kind of get the sense that there's the door just behind Lord Mayor Nimbus. There's the door to the kitchen. There's also a few doors kind of off to the corner of the room. And you get the sense it's where you would go do that business. So it's kind of on the opposite corner of where the kitchen is.
Okay. So I don't have to pass by the kitchen to see it?
If you were to kind of like make a long way around, you could maybe pass by the door of the kitchen. It's closed. There's a small window on the door that you could maybe peek into.
If I quickly peek into it, what does that room look like? Is it congested and small, or?
Why don't you give me a perception check?
Okay. That is a 19.
A pretty small kitchen, but it's very busy. You see that there's several cooks back there. You also, with a 19, you kind of get a gaze of a few dishes that are like pre-prepared, sitting down ready, and they look pretty horrible. Like, they look gross. They look like dishes that you would imagine they serve, but just like bad versions of it. In fact, you see one that is the crakamari, but the breading is falling off and it's wet on the plate. It looks like it wasn't cooked right. The sauce is chunky and weird. And then all of a sudden you spot the face of Romulus take over the window.
He's like looking at me.
As he's looking out into the space, and he spots you looking into the kitchen. And he goes and drops back down.
Nothing else happens. I'm going to step away. I'm not going to make it look like I'm lingering. Tally's going to make their way to the bathroom.
It is a single stall. There happens to be a toilet in there. There's also a small mirror and a spot to, wash your hands.
Tallisandra does take a second to really just zhuzh up the hair.
Zhuzh it up.
Gives a quick wink at themselves.
Wow. Give yourself a point of inspiration.
I will, thank you. I'll take that. I think that Tallisandra, now that that's done, is going to let themselves out of the bathroom.
And you make your way back to the table. The Lord Mayor Nimbus is sitting there. You see he's kind of like, he's been waiting for you to start eating, so he hasn't touched his goat confit yet. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Oh, you're back. I've been waiting."
It took me a bit. I did catch myself looking in the mirror and resetting my hair. I'm so sorry it took a second. Oh. I just wanted to look my best.
You're so funny.
Thank you.
Are forgiven.
Listen, was so weird, but I also stopped by the kitchen. As along the way I could see inside, and the dishes looked interesting.
I see. Roll persuasion for me.
Okay. Didn't I actually see that, or?
You did.
Okay.
You're trying to persuade, you're trying to see if he's interested enough to check this out.
16.
16? Yeah. I think Lord Mayor Nimbus kind of hears this. The culmination of everything that's going on is starting to kind of weigh thin on him. And he says,
"Well, let me at least have a bite first before I go investigate whatever the heck is going on."
Absolutely.
Yeah. He takes his stick, jams it into the Astral Goat confit, and it kind of falls apart in a very, like it's a very tender piece of meat. And he tries to like spoon a bite, try and make it work. It falls off the stick. You see him kind of doing that number, a very uncomfortable way of eating.
Tallisandra's gonna like try to not make faces, but make faces at the same time. Like, oh.
He says,
"Oh, sorry."
"Whoa.
Oh my god. Well, it's not easy to eat, but...
Oh.
Dang it, it is delicious.
Oh, wow. That is wonderful news.
He stands up and goes back to the kitchen.
Okay.
And you see him not even knock, but walk through the door.
Okay.
And the door closes behind him. And you're left at the table by yourself with your duck or your goat confit.
I am gonna... Did he eat half?
His one bite was about half of it.
Yeah. I am going to make it look like I ate mine. Maybe I'll just mash it up and spread it across my plate. You know that tactic?
Yeah.
Like, there's not much of it.
Mom.
I'm a messy eater. What can I say? You know, I'm just going to mash it up on my plate and then move it around and make it look like I went through it.
Didn't even take a bite?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. After that first cocktail,
Not worth it.
that was a bit of a slap in the face of trying the food. Where
Sure,
you are
sure.
at. Yeah.
In that moment, as you're kind of mashing, you watch as Lord Mayor Nimbus is being escorted out of the kitchen by Romulus.
Oh.
And it looks like he's trying to divert attention from the kitchen. And he...
Tallisandra's immediately going to get up
okay.
and go over.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You walk up and kind of stop them from heading back to the table. The door to the kitchen kind of swings closed and the window's still there. And Lord Mayor Nimbus says, I only got but a glance, but I promise you, your food is quite delectable. I would love to see how you make it.
Oh, me too. I would love to.
Romulus says, oh, no, there's no way we can do anything like that. I shouldn't give away the secret to the sauce that we have.
Oh, just a glance. I mean, you have it right by the bathroom. I saw it by accident walking by.
Surely no, there's no possible way we can show you. We must go back to your
It's
table.
the mayor of your town. You would deny him the magic of your kitchen?
Roll persuasion for me.
Okay. God, I hope this is good.
20! You see his
the
face drops, and when you say it's the mayor, he goes, of course, yes. Come on back. And he slowly gives in as he opens the door to the kitchen and allows you both to come back into the kitchen. It is loud and lots of smells. Not a lot of the same smells you were getting before, but like some gross. There's a lot of like fresh meat on the counters that's being prepared. There's a lot of pots and pans and things kind of going all at the same time. And you see dishes that are kind of pre-made, like dishes that are ready to go out, sitting and waiting to go out, but they're all disgusting looking. Mm-hmm. It looks like they're all waiting for a finishing touch, but that finishing touch would have to be something that completely alters the dish completely to make it look the way that it came out to you two. Mm-hmm. Lord Mayor Nimbus looks at the havoc going on back here, and he goes, well, it's quite an operation you've got back here. And
Tallisandra is going to kind of point in the direction of where the prepared dishes are. Is one of them the Kraken dish?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Out loud, while pointing at it, I'm gonna go. That looks very different than what we saw. What happens?
Romulus runs in front of the dish, standing in front of you from it. And you see him kind of turn, and he whispers something to himself, and he grabs the plate and turns, and it's beautiful. And he says, Nothing is wrong. The dishes are as they are.
Hold on a second.
Have a taste.
I'm getting fooled, but that did not look the same as it did a second ago, and I turned towards the mayor and I said, did you not just see...
I'm sure you do not know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry, sir. I am talking with the mayor right now. And Tallisandra turns back to the mayor and is like, surely you saw before he stepped in front. What are you hiding? Why did you need to step in front of it?
The Lord Mayor Nimbus says, Now, Romulus, you are being very suspicious.
Right?
Why don't you just show us how you prepare a meal?
And Romulus says, I think we've spent enough time in the kitchen.
This is quite rude, I must say, don't you think?
Mayor, I am unhappy to tell you we must close early this eve, for there has been an emergency.
When did an emergency happen? Looking around, is anything happening?
The kitchen seems to be operating normally, but you see the hostess is kind of standing back in the kitchen watching what's happening right here, and kind of wide-eyed, like looking at Romulus like, what's happening? We're gonna go. Get the heck out of here. Make it stop. Lord Mayor Nimbus says,
Oh, but we've only just started our we've only just started our goat confit. I would love to finish it. The taste was phenomenal. You must show me what's in the sauce.
I agree. I don't think it just show us one secret of how you make one of them. There's a lot of secrets here that you can keep for yourselves.
all right. He takes you to a large pot that's simmering on a stovetop, and it's filled with kind of a bubbling sauce. It's brown with the purples kind of streaked through, and he says, this is how we prepare our sauce.
Does it look appetizing?
It looks like the sauce,
Okay.
but the smell is nothing like what you remember from the table.
This doesn't smell the same. It smells awful, to be quite honest. What do you add to this?
We do not. It is how it comes. It is. The taste is nothing that you can. You tasted it already, I'm sure, on your plate, right?
It did not smell this way before.
The smell is not. The smell is the kitchen. The smell is different than the taste of
Tallisandra
course.
steps forward and quite clearly wafts it to themselves.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. 7.
There's a lot of smells in this kitchen, but I mean, I think you kind of got the idea that like nothing kind of smells as it should.
Yeah.
But a taste would really be the sealing, the thing
Okay.
that would seal it in your
Is there like a spoon anywhere around?
mind. You see, there's a couple like ladles next to it.
Tallisandra's gonna try to grab one really fast and dip a ladle in and drink it.
You grab a ladle. Romulus slaps it out of your hand.
I'm sorry.
He says,
The tools of the kitchen are not for the patrons. I'm sorry. I must ask you to leave.
Do you treat all of your patrons this way? Do you slap them?
Lord Mayor Nimbus.
Mayor Nimbus, this is outrageous.
I am very sorry, but your guest must leave.
Me?
Mayor, you may stay, and I will provide any dessert that you would like, but I will not tolerate anybody overstepping the bounds of the kitchen.
I thought it was quite clear that we were interested in the steps, and you seem to be confusingly defensive about a lot of it, to the point where you won't let us see it. Why is that?
Lord Mayor Nimbus is just kind of caught in the crossfire between you two, kind of eyeing back and forth, and he says,
Now hold on a minute. What is this business? Why, do you mean to send my guest away?
and Romulus says,
I do not mean to cause offense. I only mean to respect my kitchen.
I am offended, I must say. Mayor, if you would like me to go, I'll only go at your asking, of course. But I was excited by the prospect of how they made things in here, and and correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seems like Angry Pants here. What is his name?
Romulus.
Romulus is quite the nugget to crack.
I am not a nugget. Now,
And quite testy. Do you have a sense of humor, sir?
I don't know what that is. Lord Mayor Nimbus says, "That's enough.
Barley, we are leaving. I am so sorry for such a horrible evening. I shall not be coming back to this Astral Goat ever again. Romulus, change your ways. If you wish to have restaurant patrons, I suggest you change the way you treat them."
And he storms out of the kitchen.
Not to get caught in anything, Tallisandra tries to stay pretty close to the back of the mayor walking out.
Okay, trying to follow behind him?
Yeah.
Sure. So you tail behind him. He exits the door and he stops, exits the front door. You see there's still a line of people waiting to get in. Mm-hmm. It's now much darker outside. And he says,
Harley, I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. I had so much fun learning about you, learning about the town, and I am still very excited about us working together.
As am I. I only wish our evening were a bit better. Perhaps tomorrow we'll discuss the details of our trade.
Absolutely, count on it.
Now, I must bid you adieu. I hope your stay this evening is pleasurable.
And you as well. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. You see him step into a carriage that has just kind of been waiting around for him to be done with dinner. And he waves goodbye.
Tallisandra waves goodbye and then turns towards the people in line and goes, "Did you hear that? There was cockroaches inside."
You see that there are a few, an elven couple that are eagerly awaiting. They've been waiting at, they're in the front of the line. They catch your statement and turn to each other and they say, "Cockroaches, oh my gosh."
Yeah, the mayor just left because he did not have a good time. We were supposed to have a great meal, but...
They roll a persuasion check for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 21.
They get out of line. They walk home. Everybody from the line begins to leave as you see the mayor in his carriage roll away. Mm-hmm. And all that's left outside is you and the two guards that were standing outside the door.
I nod to them and just look to walk away, but obviously I'm going to try to make it over to wherever Gordron Rams is.
You begin to turn the corner towards the back of the establishment. That's where Gordron was waiting for you. Mm-hmm. And give me a perception check.
That is a 17.
You hear the door of the restaurant open, of the Astral Goat open.
Like the back door?
The front door.
The front door.
And you faintly hear the hostess whisper something to the guards, and they begin to tail you.
Is there any alleyway that I can slip into?
Well, the alleyway around the corner of the restaurant is kind of the alleyway in between the leatherworking shop and the restaurant. So you can kind of turn corner to get to the back of the restaurant that way.
Tallisandra's gonna take cut into that, and then cast invisibility on them.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you turn corner, and you hear the guards now coming closer. You've gone invisible. Mm-hmm. They turn corner and they look. They don't see anything in the alleyway, but they continue to slowly walk down the alleyway. They're looking for you.
Tally's just gonna keep walking away to keep distance and also be invisible. But their goal is to just not be reachable.
Roll stealth for me.
Okay. 8.
You make your way almost to the end of the alleyway where the back of the restaurant is. As you kind of turn to look back at the guards, you accidentally trip over a rat and hit the ground and make a small splash in a puddle. The guards see that
Okay.
and begin to move a bit faster in your direction.
I'm gonna get up and run.
Okay?
I'm just gonna run to any other area that I think looks like a good...
Still invisible.
Still invisible.
You begin to run. You make it to the end of the alleyway, and you see Gordron Lamses is kind of leaning against the back of the restaurant in the back of the alley, just kind of like waiting for you, but doesn't spot you. Maybe hears the noise of somebody walking around and kind of gives a turn.
As Tally runs by,
Yeah.
whisper something in their ear, like on their ear, like I might not be next to them, be like, being followed.
Gordron hears a whisper in his ear. He catches that. And you see him kind of like turn around the corner to look and see if somebody is following. And he sees two guards kind of running down the alleyway and immediately sprints in the other direction.
Okay.
Takes off through the courtyard. He's going to roll stealth, and I'd like you to roll one more stealth check to evade these guards.
God damn it. 8.
An 8. I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Nat 20?
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Gordron Ramses is out of there. You don't even see where he went. Meanwhile, the sprinting is making lots and lots of noise. The guards get a clue in the direction that you're going. But you see the pile of garbage in front of your way, and you sail right over top of it.
Does it look cool?
It looks... It doesn't look, because you're invisible. You can't see anything.
It seems
so
cool.
maybe it was cool, but who's to say?
Right.
You sail over this garbage, and it is kind of fully across the alleyway here, and it is unmoved as you pass by. The guards kind of walk up to it, slow down, are kind of looking around, like, wait a minute, where the heck could they have gone? Stop, and you have successfully evaded the guards. You get a bit out into the town. It's still late at night. You know where the Nine Hells Diner is, and I imagine maybe head that direction to find where Gordron Lamses went. And you see him sweeping just outside of the Nine Hells Diner, pretending to look busy.
I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna, for the first time, I guess, and the only time really, I'm gonna touch the tattoo that's on my arm, which is just like like a surfboard or something.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna change into a human male.
Oh, wow. Just
a
full on disguise self.
Disguise self.
You look like a Ken doll walking down the street, and you spot Gordron Lamses, and he's kind of doing one of those numbers.
I mean, I'm gonna walk up to Gordron, and I'm gonna say, like, "Hey, yo, what up? It's me. I'm back.
Who are you? Oh, what do you want?
You remember Tallisandra?
Tallisandra.
The one that you had to do the gig?
What do you know about that? Who are you?
Okay,
And he holds a broom at you.
listen, slow it down. Do you recognize... Or no, that's the wrong accent. Whoa. Do you recognize my voice, at least? Or...
Yeah, but
I mean,
I was sure you didn't look like that.
you're smart. You totally got it. Because, like, I'm using disguise self. If we walk into your shop, maybe we could talk without eyes seeing us. Because you know I am a professional. So, like, I have a way to disguise myself. You know what I mean?
Roll persuasion.
God. Yeah, it's a nat 1.
Swings the broom at you. and just barely grazes right over your shoulder as you kind of duck out of the way.
Tallisandra's gonna go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Remember earlier when I whispered in your ear that I was being tailed? Why would some random person know that?
He says,
I think that Tallisandra, just to give this guy some bit of, like, calm, is gonna, like, lift their jacket and then turn back and be like, look, can we, like, get inside and you not hit me? Because that would be cool.
he goes, all right. Oh, yeah. Oh, clever.
Right.
And he opens the door to the Nine Hills Diner and welcomes you in.
Well, I don't know if you've heard anything, but I think I did a pretty good job.
I was behind the restaurant for most of it, but I did see some people leaving pretty unhappy. And the mayor didn't look too happy either.
He was not?
Job excellently done.
Thanks.
You've more than earned your keep.
And he pulls out a bag of gold, slaps it on the table.
It's been a pleasure doing business with you, Harley. Oh, excuse me.
Tallisandra. It's okay. I mean, I did look the part, right? I mean...
Fooled me.
Thank you for your, like, business or whatever, and just keep me in mind for next time.
Will do. It's been a pleasure.
Goes to shake your hand.
Pleasure's all mine. And then takes the gold, walks out.
And they all lived happily ever after. Welcome to the credits. Thank you so much for watching this far. Comment down below. Tell me about what you liked, what you didn't, what rules I got wrong. A special thank you to my good friend Alex Gamble, who played a wonderful bard. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And, as always, say yes to side quests. I guess it would have been an ability check, huh?
Either one's fine.
It's fine.
No one's gonna write in the comments like, hey,
Don't at me.
excuse me, those are not the rules.
I'm making it up as I go. Let's do credits like we used to do credits. Let's have credits that roll slowly, and
Interrupt
it's me,
it.
and I'm kind of like popping up as a little
Little
like the
animatic
bloopers,
or bloopers,
and then like a blooper pops up at the end.
yeah, it's very silly. Great.
We just break the fourth wall in the credits.
Yeah,
Good job.
great job. I don't know what's gonna happen if it fails, but
I guess we'll find out. We'll cut it short.
it'll be the end of the episode.